Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. We're back to continue our playthrough of Attila, Total War, and the Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD mod. And last time we did have a successful, although costly, battle in Toulouse. We are about to recover from that so we can move on to our next turn. I'll just take a look at the loose notes first before we do a last little bit of details before we take our next turn. We gained a new household member, a fine charger. So battle movement speed plus 5% for the commander's unit. We gained some new we recruited the levy unit up there. Yeah, we know about that. Our victory was close, we know that. We secured the province now, and we gained another resource in Toulouse, and that is grain. So that is pretty much everything, and we've occupied there. So one thing I do want to do in my excitement last turn, obviously I wanted to get a peek at Montpellier, make sure there's no garrison over there, which there isn't, but we are a little too weak to just straight on move on in there. And there's some key units I would hate to lose, such as English knights here, by not replenishing them. Some sergeants are woefully low, and then spearmen that I count on so much on the on the assaults. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this army and do a slight correction and bring it right back across the border.
March.
Appreciate having the eagle-eyed viewers that help me or watch my back, have my back, so we don't make such silly little mistakes. We also have our army here, which apparently, according to this symbol now, has the plague. It's not just on Toulouse, I'm guessing. It looks like we both have the plague by moving in here to occupy the city. But while I'm here, I'm going to repair these last two buildings. One, the training grounds, which will help with public order once it's fixed back up. And then I'm going to keep the muster grounds just so I have a forward base to at least get slightly higher units in the medium, the holabars and the sergeants, which are medium level, so I don't have to travel all the way back to England for halfway decent units. So that's what we're going to do. 405 on this repair and 450 on that repair. And then there's really only one other thing I can think of that I want to accomplish before we move on, and that's up north. And up in Edinburgh that we recently also conquered. Took a look. They have a blacksmith building here. I probably shouldn't have repaired that building. Slipped my mind that, hey, we got the blacksmith and then its improved counterpart, a large workshop over in Dublin. So there's no sense having two of these buildings so close to each other. So we're going to dismantle this one here, and when we gain some funds, which we don't have at the moment, we'll figure out a better building to fill that slot with. And that should do it. So let's go ahead. I don't think there's any other trading possibilities down here. Yeah, Kingdom of Navarre, but no, because we're heading in that direction in our expansion, so we don't need to make any trade deals that we're going to turn around and break. And I don't know if we have any. I mean, we still have to find a spot for Emma. Yeah, she needs to gain more influence so we can do something with her to get a marriage arranged. At the meantime, we'll hang on to her, and then we don't have anybody but Eustace with that low loyalty warning. John is back up to 4, so that helps him. But Eustace sitting down here with 3 loyalty provosts, but still, it's not a disaster. Okay, so I think we're ready for our next turn. Let's go ahead and jump in and do that, and then we'll see you on the other side, depending on what pops up.
We do not give gifts lightly, and never to common folk.
Well, it's true, we are not common folk, but that is not an appropriate gift, considering what the rewards will be by gaining all of the islands under one kingdom umbrella, so we're going to decline. And some bad news. The Fists of the Father, which if memory serves me, that is the main William. The William who's done some amazing conquering and battles in France and whatnot. He appears to have left us. Yikes. Eustace, oh look, available generals. Like we really want to bring Eustace in here, who's aged himself. No, he is not my first choice. We have a couple other choices here. With extra cunning, Robert and Gerald as strategists. And supply, I think, yeah, that's replenishment. So I'm almost thinking we'll go in this direction with Adam at 36 years of age. Yeah, I could go just straight on age, but I like the idea of a little extra boost to our resupply. That's going to be a tough hit to that army. Let's hope their cohesion and integrity doesn't fall apart without William in charge. But I think we'll go ahead and replace him with Adam. The thinking is I could always think about switching with my heir who's currently levying troops, but to be quite honest, I'm going to like that levy army, I think, way better than William's army. So I have a feeling I'm just going to keep Adam in charge and generalship down there, unless, of course, he just proves to be not up to the task. All right, so yes, natural causes. William has left us. Shame. Age 56. Not too young, obviously, at least for the time. So he helped us well. So we've lost a brother. Now that we think about it, he's not just our general. He is our bastard brother. And Fulk. Looks like a governor. He went young at 43, so we need a governor potentially in Paris. I'm going to think we do. Just to keep the order going in Paris. We'll look closer at that also. And Blades of Mercy. We have the plague going on with our army that moved in to Toulouse. Shame, shame. So now we're going to have to wait for them to get better. We'll have to move them out of the city as soon as we are able. So since we're still up here in the north, we'll take a look at some of these other minor events. I actually would like to jump right into a battle and see if we can't just secure all of Scotland and secure all of the islands in the process. It's going to take a big public order hit in Edinburgh, but I want to move this army to the north to add reinforcements and just ensure this happens, and then eventually we can move back down here and have an army in Inverness, army in Edinburgh as we get them under control. And then once that's under control, we got 2 more armies to move down to the continent, which is going to be exciting. Although I may decide to keep the smaller one up here just in case something strange happens, and just to keep a force up here in case some other province or country decides to get a little brave. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. But anyway, let's get our army moving here. Let's get a battle going. And we will take some winter attrition.
Ready for orders. Waiting for more orders.
Perhaps, if we're lucky, after the battle we can fortify. We'll find out. We're not going to fortify before the battle because that may prevent us from reinforcing.
Besieging settlement!
Alright, it's showing it's going to be a tough battle, especially for having a reinforcing army there. The garrison, I guess, the general just has better units than I expected. Yeah, because the garrison is, yeah, take that back. The army that's helping to defend is significant. Still shows that we should have an advantage in spite of that. But that army was able to grow all of a sudden. So we'll see you down on the battlefield. Alright, nice winter battle, although the snow is not falling. So as far as the snow that is on the ground, no adverse effects for our attack. So we're just going to go ahead and start deployment. And we're going to take, as we always do, a quick look at the city. Looks like this is where the towers have fallen, is over on this side. This tower, wow, 99% damage. I think one of our catapults can easily bring that sucker down. That's what we're going to count on. We'll see if catapults of theirs go on these mounts, because that could cause some problems for us. We also have the potential for a barricade here, or or if that not potential, then it's already actually built there. So if we do come up and focus on this gate or focus on this wall, our best course or path to get up to the center looks to be up here, over here, up here. So we'll come back. I'll set up on the field, and it looks like our reinforcements come nicely behind us. So and that's good because they're going to be coming over on the side. We're going to be attacking over here. So I'll see you in just a moment once I set these guys up. Oh, we got a pretty standard setup for us. We have our first tier of ladders going up that will lead the way, and that is our billmen, spearmen to try and set perimeters from this section of the wall once they get over and hold that ground. We have follow-up ladders with our heavy troops, so we'll bring them up just a little behind so we have the ability at the last minute, if we need to slightly redirect their angle to a hot spot, we can. We'll have the heavy units here, the which one? Dismounted Templar Knights here that'll be in charge of the battering ram. We will put our catapult right front and center with standard round to try and do the last bit of damage on this watchtower and take it out. And then after that they can change over to any kind of explosive round we might need based on where they're bunching up for their defenses. If there's a catapult, our archers that are ready to just go up and pelt them on the walls will definitely take a number of units over to this point or this point where they have their catapult, if they have one available, to put on the walls, and we'll try to burn it to kingdom come. Archers, speaking of archers, let's make sure we have them on standard shot. We have the ability to change to flaming shot should we see a catapult present itself, and that's about it. And then once the reinforcements come in, that'll be timely because our first assault should be well underway by then. All right, let's get this battle started. Don't see any catapults, so let's get our archers up there post haste, and let's get our catapult working on that last tower.
Reinforcing troops, and not a moment too soon.
And we have taken down the tower quickly. We're going to change the catapult over to the explosive round, and we will center right there near the gate, where they tend to often bunch up with that shot. Archers moving forward, and we will start the first phase of the wall assault. Change these spearmen over to here. Then we'll start bringing the second tier up. So we can direct them as necessary to the wall where we need them the most. We need our flaming shot on these guys in the center. As soon as you can fire, guys, let's do it. And cavalry's in reserve as usual for when we break through the gate. And we didn't bring the battering ram going yet, so there's one oversight already that'll slow down the breakthrough of the gate.
The enemy approaches.
Alright, we'll bring our reinforcements up at a slow rate so they aren't exhausted by the time they get here. We have some medium pike infantry right on the walls. And that's who we're hammering right now with our archers. Doesn't seem to be any direct opposition yet. We know that can change quickly, but so far no direct opposition right here on the wall where our ladders are headed. We'll focus on these sergeants with our flaming shot from the catapults, or our explosive shot, I should say. And we've already brought the pikemen down on the wall that were there, so let's focus these guys. Is there another nice target for us? Some more pikemen that might not be bad to take out. They're doing us a favor at the moment, centering over here. I'm going to take a couple of our archers over here to see if we can't work on their own to soften them up. The Highlanders that are moving in around over here, they did prove to be tough in our last battle. And I will take a couple more units of archers, focus on the archers they're bringing up to the wall. We're keeping these last two focused on these pikemen. Flaming shot is starting to hit nearby. Minor damage so far. They've hit spread formation just like us. We'll focus, change our focus onto the cavalry units, which tend to be tough. And we're almost up to the walls. Let's see if our billmen can't do some damage over here to their archers, and these other archers that have been focusing on those units can now focus back over here. I don't expect them to hold up to the billmen. Starting to react to the rest of us climbing the walls. And I think at this point it's safe. Let's get our strong infantry up there. The perimeter will be set. They can mostly climb the walls unmolested. This last unit we're going to bring direct against their archers, I think, if we can get them. Apparently we can't, so we're just going to bring it over here. Bring our billmen over here against these archers. I don't need you to stand there and just take shots. Let's take these guys down and follow through against the Highlanders over here. We'll then move forward over here against these archers with these billmen, and then we'll have our heavy units on the walls soon. Reinforcements are not too far away anymore. So about when we start becoming exhausted here, already our spearmen are running into trouble against the longbowmen. They've folded on the wall, so we will redirect to the interior most of our archery shots. We are at the wall, and they're coming out the gate, so it's hard to tell. Make it look like the gate's going to close. When they get back in, I'm assuming, and then we'll have to batter through what remains of the gates. Okay, so the gates are not damaged at all, so we need to bang away there before we can have access and bring in the cavalry. Okay, our stuttering spearmen have solidified. We're going to bring our units hitting the walls now up. We're making progress against the units here, so we're going to bring ourselves over to these towers to help us out. We're going to have to battle the Highlanders at that point. But at the same time, it would be nice to take over the towers so we don't have them shooting down upon us. Okay, we have some of our heavy swordsmen into the battle. Let's start bringing them over. And our spearmen who did solidify at one point now are wavering yet again. Perhaps the billmen can do a little bit of work on their knights as we bring our swordsmen around. Some more heavy knights we can try bringing around. The billmen are weakening the Scottish knights. Try and let our spearmen here regroup. Unfortunately, our billmen that we headed down here are not going to be able to take over these gates. It looks like both units of Highlanders have made that impossible. We're going to bring our swordsmen farther in. Alright, Scottish Knights have folded. Billmen in here. We'll bring our heavy swordsmen this way. And I think at the moment we will call off. Now that they are shooting, we will change them to hard shot and go after this tower. So that we can then move in with our swordsmen here and work on softening the defenses at the gates once they open, so our cavalry can move through unmolested. 50% down the gates are. Able to focus on one Highlander over here. As a matter of fact, our archers have ammo. Let's focus over here with these guys. Let's help out our left attack, which is faltering. We have some more reinforcements that are coming up, though, that we can bring into the mix. Go. We have some medium melee infantry, which our own swordsmen should match up to just fine. We need to get our billmen into the game here. Let's bring them against the archers over here, who they should match up well to. And the gates are up to almost 80% damaged. Bring our cavalry over here, get them in line with the rest of the cavalry. And we'll bring our archers down here to help out. See if we can't surround these units somewhat and end this battle. We drove the archers off the wall. Let's bring our billmen against these lords cavalry. Of course, they're going to be intercepted. Their sergeants. Gates have been destroyed. Time to bring our heavy soldiers inside to help from another direction. continue. Their Highlanders are trying to come over to the main gate, it looks like, to help out. We can bring our Billmen over here. Try and take these gates once and for all so we aren't taking damage from them. These towers. Showing the ability to break through. I have a feeling the general here in the center is going to be tough, so let's bring our Billman over to try and work on him. And finally, our multiple swords units over here are making an impact on their sword unit here. Down to 59 men. Let's bring this sword unit over to help the Billman against the cavalry. And the door will be open then for our own cavalry to enter the fray and give us the mobility we need on the interior. Okay, these two units we need to bring over here so those Highlanders cannot reinforce. And we are wavering due to the shots we're taking from the towers. But if we can hang on just a little bit more. Attack in spite of our weakened state. So that attack, that part of the battle is not going well. Let's bring our archers back for the moment, back them off. And we have a path into the center. Now we need to move to take out these archers that are going to move against us, and now is the time for the cavalry to roar on in. Let's start with 2 units to start.
Their gates are ours now. The enemy is upon us. They're at the walls.
Continue our assault over here with our heavy infantry and see if we can hang on long enough over here to take these towers. We got reinforcements. We got some spearmen that have made it over the walls, so we're going to bring them up here in a hurry. And they have recovered the Lord's bodyguard, but we are going to bring our own cavalry in to charge through and knock them out again. So let's continue the cavalry through, charging against the archers because they're starting to wear down the Billmen there. Our heavy swords are doing a job over here, and this Billman is hanging tough over here. Towers should fall anytime. And a tough battle has ended over here. It's going to be time to move on the center. If our cavalry can get free, so we are not pelted by all these archers over here. See if our swordsmen can keep these archers occupied, and then our cavalry, if they're free now, can charge down over here. Keep them free, keep them mobile. Let's go, guys. They need to be hampered. Let's make it happen. Swordsmen are having an impact on these. We need you to have an impact down here. Get moving. And they're folding left and right. Let's get a couple more units of cavalry inside the door, inside the gate. sending them off in this direction.
A unit is running from the enemy.
And it looks like finally those billmen may have folded over there, but they did an amazing job. The tower here is 60% damaged by the catapult, which is almost out of ammo.
Turn to the battle.
We're going to keep our swordsmen moving. In fact, we're going to work on this barricade with the swordsmen. And we do have some spearmen in this group, so let's get them moved up towards the center so they can help us in the battle against the heavy shock cavalry. In fact, now may be the time we can afford to bring, if it's not too late, we can afford to unspread our archers. We'll bring in the ones that have the most ammo. There we go. That's where we want our archers to remain, to pelt the general. Soften them up for the attack. We have taken out the archers over here. Let's just once and for all take the tower now so it doesn't keep pestering us. Oops. And the guy just folded. He saw what was coming and said, heck no, I am done. so much for the final charge on their general. He just said, nope, I'm out of here. And it's a decisive victory for us. And one of our goals has been met. We took out the armies and the city of Inverness and their guards in a decisive victory, losing only 853, better than I expected. And we're going to occupy.
Ready for battle.
And the British Isles are now unified under one banner. I won't go so far as say everybody's happy, but we are unified under one banner.
At your command.
We are going to change into fortified stance so we can avoid some winter attrition here until we're able to move back down to Edinburgh. Looks like we have a promotion here. Is that for the army or the general? Looks like the general. I want to take a quick peek, and army's integrity is looking okay, so I don't have to really focus on integrity. That helps morale, so we'll just go with extra morale for this army as one of our skills, and the rest of it we're going to spend right here on recruitment cost. And then next promotion we'll be able to move down to campaign movement versus battle movement upgrades, which I love. Do we have anything here? The armor, plus armor for the commander's units. We might as well pick that up since he's been in some battles.
Commander.
And how is the king looking these days? Fully armored. So yeah, so we're okay there. While the billmen took the brunt, once again we've lost that spear unit early on, proving not. I think I'm liking the billmen more. So when I have chances, I will replace as much as I can here and there the spearmen with the billmen. I just, for those offensive assaults, if we were just sitting on the defense, I wouldn't mind the spearmen so much. But on offensive, I'm definitely loving the billmen a lot more. We're only losing 6 per turn moving the army out, so that's not a disaster. While we're up here, let's get our spy moving south. His service is no longer required up in the north. How far can he move? Pretty far. All right, with the battle out of the way, let's go back in here, make sure we haven't missed anything. Yes, we're invested in Inverness. In fact, we own now Inverness. Alexander, the governor up there, is gone. And Bryce, the king of Scotland, is no more. Population surplus in many places, which is good. In Essex, which is Colchester, Aquitaine down in Bordeaux, and France has a population surplus. So we're going to have some places we're going to have to look at, especially in France, losing a governor, to make sure they're not falling apart. We lost some household. Ooh, some nice ones that we lost. Cook for integrity. And many others that we didn't have assigned out. We completed construction of the large city in Orléans, so that's got to help. I wonder if public order... Okay, even with the negative trait of our king and that building finishing, we still have a slight negative result, which is not disastrous at the moment because we're sitting at plus 41. So we'll work when we have a chance to get that under control. Income's back up to 4,500. Waiting another turn will be over 9,000. So if I decide I need to get a building growing or a city growing, we'll be able to do that. Okay, some of the Toulouse things and Edinburgh things that we lowered down and did not repair are done. Traits gained, respectful for John. It increases his religious influence, which is not a big deal for us in this particular playthrough. Martin's loyalty has increased, which is always nice. And Edmund has gained the trait. Ooh, up to 5 bonus from presence of Catholic Christianity in the local province. So what do you know? Public order even more for Edmund. He's the one possibly up in Wales, off the top of my head, or he could be down in Switzerland for all I know. So Edmund's gained a rank. We're about to find out.
How can I serve you?
Aha. Yes, down in Switzerland. So that should help public order tremendously. Oh, it's amazing. In fact, we might be able to send him out now to another place to use that. Let's see. Religion +7. Characters +4. So we take him out, it takes out 11. So actually we might drop to -1 by moving him out of here. So we'll keep him there for the moment until we get them a little bit higher. But let's take a look at his promotions. He's got to be aging a little bit by now too.
At your service.
51, not bad. Authority, zeal, cunning. We're probably just going to work on increasing those kinds of traits if they're available. Here's a good one, lowering corruption. So we might as well maximize that possibility there. Ralph has also been promoted.
Ready for orders.
And we took care of that one. That was our general here. They helped out our backup general, the reinforcing general in the battle for Inverness. We have the Highlands. We gained silver as a resource in the Highlands. Very good. And that's good. We have some more units to move. One is Edward. We'll keep him looking around. And right now, he's our eyes and ears over here where we're probably going to move next after Toulouse. But we'll have somebody else there by then. So let's just have him look even further south. And there's the biggest army of all right now. The Crown of Aragon moving against Valencia. Held by the Almohad Caliphate. So we got little battles going on down here. So we'll wonder which side will end up in the end being the victorious. But it sure looks like the Kingdom of Castile and the Crown of Aragon are quite strong in this move south. So wouldn't it be nice if we could get Toulouse under control and move against the Crown of Aragon as they're so heavily distracted down here. Okay, Edmund, you are still at sea. We're going to move you, that's the plan, up and north around the Danish peninsula up here.
At your service.
And this Arthur, our spy, has been successful in really helping out Baron. I think what we'll do, though, now that that's under control, especially with our priest there, even a -10 hit won't slow us down that much. We can keep these eyes to continue moving. And probably in the Iberian Peninsula is where I can use him first in the best way possible.
As you command. The devil makes work for idle hands.
All right, we're not going to move our priests. Overall, yeah, we look there. That's Orleans. Dauphine is falling, but it's not a bad. We're still in a good place at +65, so we got time to figure this one out. And Paris is definitely falling, but not drastically. So we actually can probably afford to get a governor started in Paris because it's a big enough, and we can grow again. This increased slots appears because you can get up to 10 slots, and this is the way the mod is working right now. If you have grown as we have in Paris, you just hit this button to give you the extra slot. I'm not going to hit it now because we're not ready to build anything at the moment for that growth. What I want to do first is get the governor down in there to help us out. Yeah, we'll bring Robert into the position. Not that I have that many choices. I don't think I have any male family members that I can pop into that position either at the moment, so that is our choice, Robert. And in France, until you get boosted up, or in Paris, I should say, let's just go. Now we're going to go with the wealth because we'll get the public order under control, and let's just totally focus on income. Right there, the rural way houses. Squalor is good. Food is not. That actually is hurting. So when we have a chance, increasing food, since our squalor is under control in a big way, we can afford upgrading the fields to help change our food situation down here. Currently at -25. If we can turn that around, that'll alone will take away a negative hit against our public order. So that'll be our first focus when we get the funds to be able to do that. Looks like we're needing 4,500 to get up to the next. Oh, that's city square. I thought we had. So we can't increase our fields unless we increase our slots and find out if we're able to. I don't know if you can do more than one field at a time. I'm doubtful. Let's take a peek at our forces down in the south here in Toulouse. Yeah, we need income now to increase public order buildings down here. And since we've got the pestilence at the moment, oh, the city no longer has the pestilence. The city passed on the pestilence to the army, who is now the one struggling. So let's take this army out of the city, how about? We'll just fortify outside the city so we don't risk bringing the pestilence back into the city. And then temporarily with my main army, since there's no pestilence back in Toulouse, why don't we take them out of fortification into regular stance and bring them into Toulouse. And that way we can get the public order under control as we finish replenishing our army. And since we can't afford to build right at the moment, that's probably about where we need to leave off on this turn. What are we looking at here? Looks like he's starting to build an army down here in Montpellier. But if we can get ourselves in the right position here, that's still, he won't be able to build fast enough, I'm hoping. And before I forget, as I often almost do, let's levy some more troops. Pikemen. There we go. Nice defensive unit to hold the line. Okay, we're going to go ahead and squeeze in one more turn here before we call this an episode. See you on the other side. Okay, the Blades of Mercy continue to suffer. But no other big surprises other than we did see the Kingdom of Norway move in. I'm wondering, is the Kingdom of Norway at war with Toulouse? Yes, they are. Could we finally be seeing Norway doing something? They sense weakness, so they're moving their army over here. And could they get there before we do? I do not know. That's interesting development as far as I'm concerned. And while we're at it, we're going to bring our spy down here so we can keep an eye on the build going on down here. Right now, it's not too aggressive yet, and the units are not too amazing yet. So not overly concerned. We're to be interesting to find out if Norway moves down there, however. Population surplus in Normandy, population surplus in Dauphine, which is good. The Vienna Dauphine will need a building slot to help with our order. We're up to 5,000, so I don't know that it's really now's the time to do that building quite yet. But with public order folly, we will do it soon. So we're going to allow the income to go up just a little bit more before we help Dauphine and possibly Orléans. Orléans, we're going to have to wait. The growth is happening, but we're not quite there to get the new building slot to help public order. We're going to do it early on in the turn this time, and we are going to levy another unit. This army's shaping up to be a force, that's for sure. We have a promotion, it looks like, on our young family member general down here. Replenishment is a good thing to have, and also the battle movements down here, so a little authority would not hurt. So we're going to click on both those for his first promotion. Let's see if we have anything else that could be helpful for our heir and new general. Page helps the commander's unit. Authority +2, a military advisor is what I'm thinking. He'll help more than just the commander's units. He'll help the whole army. Might help to actually click on it rather than just talk about it. And also, not a lot of bow infantry in there, so we're just going to increase our heir's personal influence a little bit with the heraldic heater shield. Peace has been negotiated between Norway and Sweden. It almost feels like Norway is setting themselves up to be not distracted so they can go against, try and knocking out Toulouse and gaining themselves a home territory. I don't know what I feel about that. But I'm not going to rush out my replenishment just because Norway hasn't proven that they are willing to attack. So I want to see it happen first in order to change my mind. Trait gained by Hubert is blind. Not awesome for Hubert. Where are you? You're a governor in Colchester. It may be time to replace the governor of Colchester. In fact, public order is no longer amazing in Colchester. So let's see about taking this guy out. That's Hubert, seeing if we can't replace him. Of course, now we're spending little ticky-tacky funds in with governors and this and that, so we're not able to then build what we really want to build. Oh well. There's Hubert. Let's boot him out. And Eustace is saying, I'm here, I'm available. But instead, we'll take a look. We got Humphrey at 24, good with supply. And we got Gerald, another strategist, at 36. We're going to go with Gerald at the moment. And put him into Essex. And in Essex, we're going to go with public order as the initial. In other words, empowering the local rulers so that doesn't deteriorate so fast, and then we'll change it down the road after some promotions. All right, we have a spy. We're going to keep moving down and across. We have some spots up here to get under control, and one of them is get this army moving back into Edinburgh so we can get that under control before population happiness deteriorates too far. And that will be under control soon enough. Let's do some repairs, some more costs, some more things to spend on. We're going to repair the silver deposit. We're going to take the tavern down a level. And temporarily take the cattle herd down a level and leave it at that. Alright, I'm thinking time-wise, and it'll give me time to look around a little bit between episodes to see how I want to focus what we have going on out here, and kind of get a list of desired buildings that as I get funds I want to build, and maybe I can prioritize that a little bit off camera. So I think we're going to call the episode here at this point, so I can kind of line up some of the things I want to do so I don't waste as much time during the episode, and we hopefully can get to our next battle as quickly as possible. Join me next time, and let's see if this is going to be the time that Norway actually makes a move. I'm kind of interested to find that out. Now, of course, if they do their normal and do not take over or go against Montpellier, we will kindly oblige in that task. So, ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Thanks so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up for me. Hit a like. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking about the playthrough. And if you haven't yet, my goodness, by now you should have subscribed. Please do so you don't miss any more future episodes. We'll see y'all next time.